Good evening, friends. So today we'll conduct our essay class, and you have to let me know if the audio, video, everything is perfect or not. If there is any issue, you can let me know. I suppose everything is okay right now. So we'll start with our essay lecture 8. I have already sent you two essay. So the two essay which was there in the test number 2, test 2 of the essay, as many of you are finding it difficult to write the essay, I have provided the content. So okay, Aditya says yes, it's okay, and the audio, video, everything is fine. So the solution, see, there is no perfect solution for essay paper, that you must understand. And where does the problem lie? The problem lies in the individuality, because the essay paper is actually the easiest paper. Now essay is an easy paper, and in fact the easiest paper in UPSC. But why do people fear that marks will be less? Lesser marks are given to some of the candidates, on some of them score really well at the score which we are aiming, 150, 160, in the vicinity of this. Why? Because the essay is a depiction of your organization. How will you organize your thoughts? Organized flow of information. First is this, then how persuasive is your essay? That is, you are writing things in a simple manner that a person who does not know anything about a particular topic, suppose the topic number 1 was discussed earlier regarding the whether India is a thriving democracy now or not. Second topic is India is bound to become a South Asian leader in the coming decade. So this statement, this essay comes from the fact that recently the External Affairs Minister, he gave a statement, Mr. Jayashankar. He gave a statement that India is going to be the leader of the South Asia. And India, actually, if you see the historical underpinnings, the history says that India has always been the South Asian leader, barring nations like China. India has not been able to beat China in the spheres of economy. China is way ahead. In the spheres of technology, if we talk about Singapore, small nation, just a small nation, but if we look at the technology, lifestyle, and per capita income of Singapore, it's way ahead as compared to India. But the development of a country is not bound by economic factors only. The development of a country is bound by various other factors. So we have to see, when we say that India is bound to become a leader, the leadership is to be explored in various dimensions. Now let's see the topic. The topic is India is bound to become a South Asian leader in the next decade or coming decade. Coming decade. Now this topic talks about especially bound to become. You see, when we say something is bound to happen, then this statement is having a force. This is a forceful assumption, and it is taking an assumption, it's taking a persuasive assumption that it is bound to happen. It's sure that it will happen. That way you have to analyze. When you write an essay, how you will analyze? Now the topic, when you just see the main points of the topic, It is about India, of course. It is about South Asia. We are not talking about the global leadership. We are talking about South Asia for sure. Now, talking about leadership, yes, India is bound to become a leader. This is what the topic says. And then the most important word here is bound. Bound to become a South Asian leader. Talking about this in next decade. Now, if you break these dimensions separately, like firstly we are talking about India, where India in South Asia. So what you will get? This is India, surrounding countries. Surrounding countries you will have to analyze. It's Nepal here, Bangladesh, Myanmar. Here you will get China, and in fact not Nepal here, but Nepal here. Then we have smaller countries like Singapore is there, Maldives is there. These countries don't have much relevance. And then our foremost enemy, which is Pakistan. Don't go by the placing, that the geographical arrangement, but the neighbors, China, Nepal, these small nations, then Pakistan, Bangladesh, Myanmar. Now, if you analyze geographically, India is in a secure position. Why? Because of the barrier of Himalayas. Then we have Indian Ocean. So if we talk about the security point of view, geographical supremacy, because of the Himalayan barrier and Indian Ocean, presence of the Indian Ocean, we are secure. Largely we are secure. And this Indian Ocean provides us a strategic importance. And you see, these points which I am giving you right now is not in the essay which I have provided to you, because this is a common analysis. Through that essay you will understand how to write, how to put up the facts, and that's quite an academic essay. The essay which you have been given, both of them are quite an academic essay, just to give you a different perspective from what I generally give it in the classes. It's different from that, and it gives you a different orientation, a perspective that this way also essay can be written. But largely speaking, this essay is an academic essay which I have given to you. The essay of both the topics, that's written in an academic manner, written by somebody who is also an academic expert. I did not write these two essays, to be very frank, because there I wanted to show you how it is different. Now if you ask me how much marks this essay will fetch, this essay is brilliant, no doubt about that. Factually, and if you look at the command, the heading, subheading, everything, very well written. How much it should get? Out of 250, if you have two essays, this essay will fetch your 135, 140 maybe, definitely, because the organization of the points is very good. The logical flow of thought can be evident. You can see that the logical flow of thought is there. It shows the expertise, because especially about this topic, India is bound to be a South Asian leader, because the person is having an expertise, a PhD in international relation, IR, belonging to John Hopkins University. So if you look at this expertise, this expertise is reflected in the second essay for sure. In the first essay also it's there, but in the second essay especially, That is why I was telling you that if given a choice, you have to select a topic which is closer to your optional. Please choose that, because you will always reflect your expertise. But you have to put your points in a simple manner. Now, if you ask me why I am giving only 135, maybe 130 also for these two essays, why not 150, 160? The answer is, second essay has some practical aspects because of the expertise in IR. The first essay is quite an academic. Now, the academic essay and UPSC essay differs. That is why I have told you to write the introduction in an anecdotal manner, anecdotes. If you look at the grammar, the way it has been put up, the grammatical aspect, brilliant. English wise, brilliant. And that is why if you have written in a grammatically brilliant essay, grammar is fine, the sentence formation is fine, the flow of the information is fine and smooth, even then you are definitely going to get 125, 130. But the difference of 25-30 marks can be created by giving different dimensions, and that is what I was discussing here when we were talking about the geography. Talked about the geography. How? Simple analysis, geographical analysis done. Now we'll move to your economic analysis. Economically. Economic. You see, India has DD, demographic dividend, a big market. Our economy is what? Secure economy, secure from global shocks, which we have seen in 2008 recession and during the recent recession also. Recently also, 2008 there was a recession, and as I have told you, when two quarters of GDP has a negative growth rate, then it is recession, technically speaking. So global recession, global shocks, we are having a very good market and we have mixed economy. Now we are finding that the startups are growing, business growth is also superior, economically also we are doing really well. But if we compare ourselves on the flip side, if we compare ourselves with China, China is a manufacturing hub. And since China is a manufacturing hub, China is playing a leading role, right? So there are both sides of it. Geographically also, when I say Himalayas are there, Indian Ocean is there, but that poses a threat also, because we did not analyze the neighbors. You look at India. India is surrounded by three nations. Pakistan here, Bangladesh and Myanmar here. Then China, a large expanse, China only, a huge boundary we share with China. Then strategic location here, you must have read, just besides Bhutan, here it is Bhutan and China. There is a strategic location which borders China and Bhutan and also having a boundary with India. This is the strategic location. If it is choked, if it is somehow China is able to stop this point, China is able to choke this point, the whole the northeastern part of the country will be cut off from India, the mainland. Such influence of the neighbors, you see the neighbors. There are so many enemy nations, Pakistan enemy nation, Bangladesh, Myanmar also posing threat, China already an enemy nation, or China a nation with whom we compete, having a border dispute. This is the negative side of how we can become leader. How we can become leader? Geographically secure, economically we have seen, of course, superior than many other nations, of course, in comparison to Pakistan. India and Pakistan got independence in the same year, almost the same day, But look at the situation of Pakistan being in such a poor situation, and the situation of India being poised as a next developed country or developed country in the next decade or next 2 decades. India is bound to become a developed country provided that it taps its demographic dividend. We analyze things according to geography, economy, in the geography we can also include something which is called geopolitical. What is geopolitical analysis? Which we have already done. Enemy nations are around India, so we have a threat from them, and India is also surrounded by a nation which is much more superior in many aspects as compared to India. So China. So China is having a huge influence over India, Indian foreign policy also, because of the border dispute. In the world, China is in P5. China is in the P5. What is P5? Security Council. 5 nations who are in the United Nations Security Council. So China is also one of them. So China decides. India is also vying for the permanent seat in UNSC. You must be aware of that. So China is always vetoing. China has a veto, and China is using this veto, not letting India enter that P5, the group of 5 powerful nations of the world. So you look at it, geopolitically you have analyzed, economically you have analyzed all the angles. Let's see historically, history. What has been the history? In the history, what we will analyze? The civilization. Indian civilization is as old as Chinese civilization. As old. Almost the same dates. Indian civilization is much more robust because India was attacked by various countries in Central Asia. Central Asian nations, they attacked India during the whole Mughal rule. Then Britishers ruled India. The situation of India has been stricken with, has been defined by lots of loot and plunder. But because of these invasions, India has also understood the value of democracy, the tolerance. Which China is missing. India is seen by the world as someone who is the country which is peace loving, a peace loving country. But it does not mean that India is soft. India has soft power. India has soft power, but India is not soft. As I say, you should also be like, you should have soft power. You should have the communication skills. You should be persuasive. You should not offend anyone, because once you respect others, they will also respect you. As simple as that. Treat others the way you want yourself to be treated, because that is the principle of ethics also. So India is not soft. India has minimum credible deterrence. Nuclear power, India is a nuclear power. And why we have stockpiled our nuclear arsenal? Why we have done so well in the space technology? Because space, nuclear. Why? Why have we been able to do so well in the space? And nuclear stockpile we have done, because with this we want to show our prowess to the world, our power to the world, apart from the fact that these two are actually being used for the development of the country. The technology which will help us in various ways. Nuclear technology helps in so many aspects. India has acquired this to ensure that it is safe. Yes, safety is very important, because we are surrounded, because the typicality we have a typical situation in which we are surrounded by Pakistan, Bangladesh, Myanmar, and other nations, China, of course. We have to be secure. The security is provided, technology also, because the space technology is used for agricultural growth as well, nuclear technology as well, so many other things. If we look at India in this department, we are way ahead, comparable to China, as we have shown during our Chandrayaan endeavor. With this, we did show the world that we are comparable to the developed world. The developed world or the South Asian nations should not think that we are weak. We are definitely not weak. We have the technological prowess, we have the economic power with us, we have a robust democracy. World looks at India now as a leading power. And if you look at the stand of India, especially because this topic is more closer to your international relation, IR topic, more closer to your international relation. If you look at it, if you look at the topic from this angle, you have to analyze the situation of India from the point of view of India's decisions, the decisions India has taken of late, recently, whether it is United Nations General Assembly vote regarding Israel-Palestine issue. For Israel-Palestine issue, the stand we took, the Balakot strike we did against Pakistan, it shows what? A strategic shift. Strategic shift. India has shifted as far as taking strategic long-term decisions are concerned. India is no more a timid soft power. India still has lots of soft power. How is soft power reflected? Through our music. Bollywood music is so popular even in Dubai, even in Saudi Arabia, even in places of Egypt, Africa, everywhere. Our art, culture, the cultural lineage which we have, the architecture, the food, Indian food, you see, the food. You see, the growth of Indian subcontinent is so phenomenal that can be seen if you look at the kind of programs we have. Shark Tank displays our economic business startup ecosystem. Likewise, if you look at this MasterChef, which is a program on Sony Live, you will realize that Indian food has become so popular. The Indian chef who are working in 5-star hotels, chef who are Michelin star chef, Michelin. So many of Indian chefs are Michelin star chef who are renowned in world. This is called soft power, that I can influence you not through our gun but through our roses. You must have seen this is a Guns and Roses. China believes in guns. We believe in Guns and Roses both. We will show you that we have the gun, but we will not use the gun initially. Till the moment it becomes difficult for us to survive, we will not use the gun. Keep it with ourselves till the time you keep on accepting our roses. We will not use the gun. This is the policy shown by India. A little bit of analysis of international relations which you must do when, see, I tell you that you will score in essay because of the tips which I give you. Primarily it's in English. You have to write the essay in English or your language in which you are supposed to write the examination of UPSC. But this essay, apart from checking your grammatical prowess, the logical flow of thought, the organization, your critical understanding of the topic, they will also be looking for certain other things. What are these things? These things are your understanding of the GS, General Studies. GS 1 gives you 1, 2, 3. In GS 1 there is geography, history, social issues. In GS 2 you learn about IR, the governance and polity. In GS 3 you are learning about economy, internal security, primarily science and tech as well. All these papers you are learning about, right? So you should ensure that your preparation of general studies as far as topics are concerned is good. If you look at India's foreign policy, Indian foreign policy. Now here the foreign policy, there is a book by VP Dutt. This book gives you a very good analysis. There are various other books which traces the history of Indian foreign policy. You will have a very good understanding how Indian foreign policy has evolved. When we got freedom, what kind of foreign policy we were following? When we got freedom, there was Nehru. So Nehru's idea was different. Nehruvian foreign policy. Nehruvian foreign policy was being a ambassador of the globe. Nehru was quite popular among all the tall leaders of the world. Like almost similar or a little lesser we can say, or on different dimensions, almost similar kind of popularity is being shown by Prime Minister Modi as well. Nehru's ideas were based primarily on the soft power, on non-alignment, non-alignment not aligning with USA, neither aligning with the USSR, the two power blocks which were there before 1991. In 1991, USSR got disintegrated and various Central Asian nations were born. Before 1991, there were two power blocks, USA and USSR. Nehruvian policy said that we should not ally with either of them. No alignment. Fine. But if we look at the decade after the death of Nehru, India started becoming practical, pragmatic. Pragmatic ideas, practical ideas. It says we have no friends, no enemies. No friends, no enemies. This is your policy now. In foreign policy, it is said that there are no permanent friends, there are no permanent enemies. Whosoever is on our side in a given situation is our friend. Whosoever is on the other side is our enemy. There are very few countries which are which have remained our ally always. One of those are France. Even Russia did not remain our friend throughout, but France has always remained our friend. USA has never been our friend. USA has used India, initially used India when we were a weaker power. USA was so cunning that in lieu of food grains they were providing to us, they were almost, the kind of arrangement they had with us, they were almost hopping onto our sovereignty. More or less, India had to sell its soul to ensure that we run smoothly. So pathetic the situation was. Russia, that is USSR has been a helpful country, but after 1991 its power also became very less. After 1991 the world was surrounded by multipolarity. Multipolar countries, not bipolar, not two poles, but so many poles, so many groups, so many nations who were trying to rise. So in that scenario, Russia also could not be that helpful. Now, India, along with the Germany, Japan, Brazil, all these countries formed a club. This club is called Coffee Club. These four nations, which are trying to get a permanent seat in UNSC since long. Now this I am tracing the foreign policy, the foreign affairs. Now see, you don't need to have a very keen interest, you don't need to have a very expert oriented ideas about these foreign relations, the IR topics, but still your observation is required for that knowledge of international relation, knowledge of economy, knowledge of, that's why I say that your GS coverage has to be good, general studies coverage. But GS is there, then your optional is there, both knowledge of all these things, so much of content, enormous content which is there with you. So from this, scoring in essay becomes so easy. Essay becomes so easy, but what we do, we keep on targeting GS paper 1, 2, 3, trying to score 100 plus here and in all the papers. That does never happen, and we neglect our optional, we neglect our essay, and we also find the paper of ethics, integrity, aptitude very difficult to write. Why it is difficult to write? Because most of the coaching institutions, they provide you what? The knowledge of ethics. When you say you are running after the knowledge of ethics, what will you get? What is the definition of value? What is the definition of attitude? Is UPSC asking you the definition of attitude, value and integrity? No, the answer is no. What they are asking is, they are asking you to apply these principles in your own life. How will you react to a situation? They are giving you the case studies, which we will do now. Case study. They are providing you case study. How will you react to this? That's why I say, when it comes to your UPSC examination, you not only need that academic bent of mind, of course it has to be academic, but apart from academic it has to be practical also. Academic and practical both. More of practical, less of academic when it comes to essay, when it comes to your paper of ethics. These two you have to provide more of practical aspects, more examples, daily life example, common man example, common examples. Same happens true, same holds true for your optional also. Optional, suppose psychology is there, paper 2. Paper 2, you have to write common answer. You have to apply the principles of psychology. But what happens? The way it is taught. See, nobody is responsible for your result, right? Nobody cares about your result. That you must understand. You are only responsible person for your result. So the teachers who are teaching lots of this content and academics, they just want students to feel that we have lots of content, we'll be able to perform because we will just write the content and we'll get marks. The answer is no. The answer is they find it very difficult to write an answer in the ethics integrity paper and essay. They are unable to move their pen. Why? Because they have very less content. I find it really surprising that many of the students who have enrolled only for psychology course, they also send me sometimes essay. So I see their essay. It has been evaluated by various platforms. The suggestion which they give, which is really funny, they are actually forcing you to write in such a manner which will fetch less marks. So you write again, another attempt, the business grows and you suffer. The idea is that this examination is simple, although there are 1000 seats only, or out of that also 100 seats for the IAS only. If you look at the real competition, although 1 million students will fill the form even this year, the notification will be up in February, and I must tell you that 100 days you must dedicate for exclusively for prelims. Work hard like anything. Prelims is hard work, clear cut hard work. 8-10 hours, 10 hours of course daily without missing it. You must attempt 10,000 questions for sure. 10,000 questions. If you can do 20,000, that's also good, but 10,000 is a must. Good questions, good question bank, PYQ based and new questions, so that it tests your concepts, your applicability. Don't run too much after current affairs. Current affairs you will definitely be able to do. Don't worry about that. And see, this we were talking about. Yeah. Despite the fact that you have lots of content with you of the GS paper 1, 2, 3 and your optional, why people score less in essay? Because they believe, most of the students who write the examination of UPSC, they believe that the examiner is actually looking for their knowledge. Actually, the knowledge is required, obviously, but in a particular context. Even in your optional, you see the context in which the question has been asked. It is not true that if they ask about Bandura and you give the whole autobiography of Bandura, you will be getting marks. No, that's not true. If they ask something about the Skinner behaviorist, you write an essay on the Skinner's rat of Skinner, psychology, Skinner, operant conditioning. You write everything about the operant conditioning done on the rat. The rat itself gets killed in this effort, but you don't get marks. You know why you are not getting marks? Because you are unnecessarily writing something which has not been asked. You have to first and foremost the notes, which is absolutely bulky and 70% unnecessary. Cut down the notes. I keep on saying many students have done, they are doing wonderfully. Concept, application, merit, demerit approach. And why I am stressing upon this every class or every time I keep on speaking? Because I am really surprised. 100 seats are there, na? 1 million students write for the prelims. You know how many are actually serious? The actual serious candidates, they must not be more than 50,000. Out of these 50,000, the 12,000 will be selected in prelims. 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 4. Of course, stiff competition, but not more than this. Sincere aspirants. Then comes your 3,000. Here also, many of the students don't know how to write the answers because they don't have that capacity. They cannot write the answers. Out of these 12,000 who clear the prelims examination, hardly 6,000 are serious. Like they can write the main examination. They have the capacity to write the answers. Hardly 6,000. Out of that 6,000, again your 2,500 to 3,000 will get selected. All categories included. 2,500 to 3,000. That becomes easier. The mains examination is easier. Prelims is very tough because so many of them. We never know किसका तुक्का लग जाएगा. We never know. That's why we have to be extra prepared for prelims examination. In the main, it has become very easy because ये essay, just checking your expressions, ethics paper, just checking your ethical competence, where you could have scored, but why you could not score? Because of your, firstly the fear, and then the how created by the coaching institute, that it's very difficult because they keep on giving you content after content but never taught you that build ethical competence, which we have been trying to do. Get the technique. It is all about strategy. If you have a good strategy and you implement it in the honest manner, you will definitely get success. Although it may look like only 1,000 seats are there, it is very dicey. You know why it is dicey, why it is unpredictable? Because you have not been able to crack the code. Nothing is unpredictable here. Everything can be predicted. You should have a definite benchmark. Over and above that, what is required is the training in the right direction. That is very, very, very important. Most students get lost because there is a not training but mistraining. As I told you in the ethics paper also, trained incapacity. Trained incapacity. You are trained to fail by the virtue of this design. Clutter, complete confusion. You will also be lost. What is this exam? Mother of all exam, father of all exam, Dadaji of all exam. Nothing like that. Dada Dadi approach is not there. This exam is simple if you just understand how to crack the code. Nobody has been able to because of this. The ecosystem itself is so difficult. यहाँ पे कोई भी anybody opens a new institute, they try branding themselves, misleading people. So misleading should not be there. In the right manner, the approach should be to help the students. Simplify the process. So that simplicity will come if you just prepare your GS 1, 2, 3 well. Prepare it well from the point of view of your main examination, this all papers. For essay paper, you need to have knowledge, but write it in a simple manner. Use all this knowledge, and believe me, as far as content part is concerned, if you are lacking in content, why I am addressing this particular thing, the elephant in the room, is that many of you told me that content is lacking. You are not able to have the content. That simply means that your preparation of GS is not up to the mark. Because the kind of topic which UPSC asks, the philosophical again becomes easier if you have been able to crack the code. For that, I have given you a technique. You use that technique. Description, exposition, analysis, Dean technique. Description, completely open up the topic, which we did right now. Exposition, again the examples. Analysis, the facts and its analysis. The narrative you have been able to build. Narrative, the story which you build. The story will get marks. Story is the winner when it comes to UPSC essay. For other types of essay like political essay, which we have given right now, which we are dealing with right now, this is mostly about your facts. But I told you, first and foremost, you should be able to two things. Firstly, describe the topic. Description of the topic. You have described the topic completely, opened the topic completely. Then you do what? Analyze. Then you do what? Persuade. In this topic right now, till now what we have done in form of your geography, geographical analysis, in that will come geopolitical also, then economic, the historic, Then will come your philosophical also. Philosophically, if you look at India's philosophy, what is that? Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. What is that? The whole world is we are all friends. The whole world is our guest. The whole world is kind of God to us. The whole world, all of them are friends. That approach, affinity with each and everyone, friendliness. We are having friendliness with the whole world. We are friend to everyone, not enemy. Like if you look at certain countries which are based on the origin of such countries, like Pakistan is there. What is the origin? Pakistan's origin is based on religion. Look at Iran. Look at all the West Asian nations, most of them. Their origin is based on this religion and a particular religion, and they believe in bloodbath. They believe in violence, most of them. It's not that each and everyone who belongs to this particular religion, they all believe in the bloodbath, but these nations who were born out of this, their identity, Pakistan's identity is based on what? I told you, 3A, Allah, Al-Qaeda and army. The 3A defines Pakistan. Because of this, Pakistan is in this situation, and you look at India, the neighboring country itself, becoming a world leader. So this analysis which you have to do, firstly you will do the positive analysis. That is, yes, India is a leader. India is bound to become a leader in the South Asian nations. Then you will do the negative analysis. In the negative analysis, what you will do? The challenges India has. What are the challenges? In the challenges, you will see now the biggest challenge we have, the demographic dividend, DD. We are the most populous country in the world. Most of our people are young, so it should have actually worked like an asset. It's an asset, but what it is working like, it has become a liability. So much of unemployment, because most of the youth of the country lack skill. And if you talk about which skill, particularly the soft skill, communication skills, speaking ability, presentability, all these things are lacking. Soft skills are not there. So if your soft skills are not there, you will not be able to perform. That is why it is important. That's why I'm saying it is very important that the youth of the country should be oriented towards skill generation. Then unemployment is definitely there. Unemployment. Then our education system, our healthcare system. It was quite evident during the COVID, the way people were dying. So many the laborers, those who were from poorer states, who migrated to Maharashtra, who migrated to Delhi, who migrated to various parts of Gujarat, they were coming back to their home. They were unable to find a bus. They were unable to find a train. And they were forced to migrate. They were forced to go back to their homes because they had no money left with them, no savings. What will they eat? No food, no health care, no education. The situation becomes very critical. If you look at that situation, that in the country there are billionaires, of course. India is having many billionaires. The money is with having a few hands which are holding the 80% of the resources. 20% of people are having a control over 80% of the resources. inequality, income inequality. Look at this, and it is so high. Income inequality is so high. The modern challenges which were posed by COVID, the society which is so polarized, the message which India is giving to the world is that we are no more a peace loving country because of the incidents which has happened in the last decade. The way minorities feel that they are so much fearful, minorities feel that they are under constant threat of being eliminated. Why so? Because of the perception built. Look at the media is so biased. It seems that media is serving the government. This all has a very bad effect on the image of the country. Although India is still poised as a leader, world leader, but these are the things which affects its image. You have analyzed the positive side, you have analyzed the negative side. Now what to do? What you will do? You will say that still we are at a crossroads. We are at the crossroads. What is the crossroad? See, this is the graph. This is called cusp. From here, the country may go to further decline or it may rise. Depends upon how we tackle the situation. If we tackle the situation effectively, then the country will rise. Otherwise, we'll go to a decline. So, now what you have to do, give positive, negative analysis done. You have to say that we are at the crossroads. So, a balanced viewpoint, you have to put up balanced. That despite the challenges, India is still poised to rise if it corrects its shortcomings. The shortcomings in various spheres, economic, political, there again you will bring economic, political, geographical, and international relation, otherwise also societal. You can bring all the angles. The problems, if we are able to tackle well, then what will happen? We'll rise further. We'll say that back to the glory, glory which we had earlier in the ancient times. We'll get it back. How? Through these efforts of ours. Then, so this way your essay will evolve. This is the way, I have given you the content which is there in your essay which I have sent you. Read that, you will get the content. The content for essay number 1, essay number 2, both are there. Now you don't lack the content. You have to put in your points also. Then you write both the essays. Now, even if you have the content, still you will find that there is a difference between person A and person B. Both these people writing the essay will make a difference. Although the answer has been provided, the answer has been leaked. With UPSC, I can tell you, even if the UPSC gives all the answers, just before the examination you are given the answers, even then it will be very difficult for you to write the answer in the examination if you have not understood the concept. And once you have understood the concept, you will be able to write the answer very, very easily, beautifully. Prior preparation, prior experiences don't matter much. What matters the most is your understanding, the strategy, your conceptual understanding. I have seen some of the essays written by some students who are brilliant when I evaluate their psychology answer. That is brilliant. But when I evaluate their essay, I find that so many things are lacking there. Why it is so? Because they have not understood the technique of the essay writing. They have not understood the technique of the ethics paper. Likewise, they have not understood the technique of the psychology, and that's why all of them keep on saying uncertain exam, uncertain exam. By saying this uncertain exam, they are earning huge money. Who is the target? You. That needs to be understood. See, everybody puts up a coaching institute to reach to the most number of students. But what is the aim behind it? What is the idea behind? The idea behind is, if it is the idea behind putting up your coaching is to reach to maximum number of students only. You see the situation of Byju's. You see the situation of many other institutions. The target to reach to many students, but what is the conversion rate? Suppose 15k students study in VNR, but how many clear? 50. What is the ratio? 15,000. 50 by 15,000. Out of 300 students who take admission, 299 fail and only one is able to pass the exam. What about these 299? The idea is that at this I'm telling you to ingrain in yourself also. The output, you read, you study for 6 hours, but you should be studying for 6 hours so that the other person who is studying for 18 hours is actually feeling shy to talk to you, because in 6 hours you have studied so much, so efficiently, strategically, in an organized manner. This is the hallmark of the genius. Simplify things, make a strategy, follow the strategy in the right manner. You don't need so much of content. What I see, I'm just exposing the ecosystem, exposing the situation in which students are and they feel stuck. Why we have students every year? We have students who, despite the fact that they have not studied they have not gone to any coachings, they have not studied bulky books, they have studied one book 10 times rather than reading 10 books one time. They have got a rank, very good rank, as compared to others who are relying on the coaching notes only. They are not, because the coachings are teaching you to mug up the notes, but they are not teaching you what is the technique. Likewise, for the essay, there is a technique. You don't need much of content, everything will be there if you prepare your general studies well. And with general study, use everything. Use your psychology knowledge, use your paper 1, paper 2, paper 3, paper 4 knowledge, everything in the essay. Use your personal life experience, use the life experience of others. There is a set of content with me which I will send you again. All these notes now will be delivered to you. Now you read that notes only. Just understand the strategy of writing essay and ethics. And if suppose things are left, from what I suggest you, from February onward, you should not be studying anything for the mains. No, not at all. We will be able to finish either in January mid or Jan end. After that, don't study anything for mains. Prepare for prelims exclusively. 100 days preparation of prelims is important. Once the prelims is over on 26th May, then again I'll have a batch from June 15 to mid August, in which is psychology plus essay plus ethics. This batch will be offline plus online. Of course, online also it will be available. So here also, those whosoever have been my student in the previous batch, they can attend for free. There is no need to panic or worry about that, because I want you all to be successful in the main exam. Here 1000 mark again will do the practice on 1000 marks. Your responsibility is only to clear prelims, because if you are with us in any of the program, then we'll take the responsibility of prelims. Otherwise, of course, I can guide you, but once you clear prelims, then these 1000 marks, you will see that within that 2.5 months, you will be able to score 600 plus, and then your task becomes very easy. Unnecessarily it has been made, the clutter has been made. That actually is not the situation. For essay, just go through both the essays, the tips which I have given to you. Now you have the content enough, write both the essays. Unless you start writing, the thing is that your pen does not move. Na? The problem with the institutions also is that, again I am blaming the institutions, not the students. They will teach you psychology. Then after they will force you to join the test series also. This is all complete nonsense. During the course itself, it has to be after covering 4 chapters, one test, 4 chapters, another test. You need to write your answers on a daily basis. Your pen must move. Then only you will be writing your answers in the examination. How will you write the answer if you are so fearful of writing itself? I still remember when I came to prepare, there was a lady who was at that point of time. I was on the younger group, and she must have been around 29 or something like that. This last attempt, it should have been her last attempt. Earlier it was 30 years age bar only. So when we were supposed to write a part test, a sectional test of the optional, during the test only fainted. When later on our teacher asked, why did you faint? The person who was conducting the test, she said, I was so fearful, I could not write an answer. See, this fear, it has gone into your mind. So free your mind first and foremost. It's not difficult to write an answer, because things have been made difficult for you, telling you that it's not easy, it's not easy. Actually, it is easy. If it would not have been easy, why do you think a common person with an average IQ will clear the examination? You see her analysis, you see the way she expresses her views and all, you realize that she is even below that average. How did she get this rank? Because she, in the examination, was able to do something which others are fearful of. You know why? Because she understood that she had the facts with her, she presented the answer well, and got a rank. There are so many people who are way more intelligent than her, way more talented than her, but they did not even get into the list. Unfortunately, it has been made difficult. So don't get into that. Mains is easier. If you just do some common mathematical analysis, you will understand that prelims is a tough thing, because as I told you, maybe 50k students must be serious, sincere aspirants who are preparing well. Now out of that, you have to get into the 10k, something like that. If you are in general category, I think 6k, and that is also not a big deal. The problem lies with the way it has been designed, the way test series and etc. are conducted. If they are simple, you will be able to get into that. 50k student also, I am counting each and everyone who is studying for the examination. Not more than that are sincere aspirants. Most people who join, see, 200 ka batch, 200 batch in our optional only, psychology. How many are sincere? 20. Not more than that. 180 time pass. 180 इनका क्या काम है? आउट ऑफ 180 90 आर गुड स्टूडेंट, 90 आर बैड स्टूडेंट. ऐसे करके ये गुड स्टूडेंट दे विल अटेंड द क्लासेस बट नॉट एफिशिएंट. बैड स्टूडेंट दे विल नाइदर अटेंड द क्लासेस नॉर एफिशिएंट. कीप ऑन अब्यूजिंग द टीचर एंड इंस्टीट्यूशन. कुल मिला के हम मौजा ही मौजा अप्रोच. देन दे विल स्टे इन ORN for some time, waste money, go back to their home. That's the approach. It's a harsh reality. That's why the kind of approach we have a 50 batch, 550, 500 batch. Not everyone will be into these batches. The test series is there. Through the test, the entrance is there. Because we also understand that not everyone is going to qualify the exam. Na? We are simplifying the process to make things easier for you, but you will have to be of that benchmark. That capabilities, certain capabilities are required. If you don't have that, develop it. It's not that it cannot be developed, it can be developed. Through the foundation and pre-foundation, we can change that. We can change the approach. But yes, if these things are not there, you don't understand how to decode the paragraph which is given to you. A paragraph is given. There are several sentences. You have to answer the question. If you are not able to do that, why are you preparing? That's the question. If you are not having that critical analysis, why are you preparing? Leave it. Today itself. You will save your time. Cannot do basic mathematics. 8 plus 8 कितना होता है? If these kind of mathematics you can't do, then why are you preparing again? Most of the questions, as people are fearful of CSAT, you see the basic questions. 5 pigeons were there, 2 pigeons flew out, 1 pigeon came back, how many pigeons? These kind of questions are there. People are not even following the steps which are required. That's why making mistakes. So many paragraphs. I saw the CSAT paper. You may say that I belong to an IIT and that's why I technical. What kind of, no IIT teaches CSAT. Let me tell you very frankly. In none of the IITs this CSAT is taught. Never. Neither in JEE examination they ask CSAT, reasoning. We don't eat something that molybdenum and plutonium. We don't eat this. We also eat roti chawal dal. Na? The idea is, the problem is, the common sense, which, why it does not develop, the common sense is not developed, because the overload of information that kills the common sense. If you just apply your common sense and you study for 6-8 hours in the right direction, you will crack the exam. One or the other rank you will get in the very first attempt. Leave aside 3, 4, 5 attempts. The problem here lies is things are being made complex. One of the teachers, when I was preparing for IIT, he told me a story. He said that, have you seen what happens when there is a string which is सिंपल धागा ले लो, उसको आप जो है पूरी तरह से उलझा दो, उसको सुलझाना मुश्किल हो जाता है. But if you have not done that उलझाओ वाला approach, you have not made it complex, it is straight, but you have made it a jalebi. Out of that you have to make it straight. This is done by most of the institutions, wasting the life of the youth. Keep your common sense intact and just go by the common content. You will clear the examination. Have belief in yourself. Self-belief is very important. You don't need plethora of content. The idea here is everybody tries to gather more and more of information. Information overload हो गया, दिमाग काम नहीं करता है. They are asking you general analysis in the main examination. If you just do the general analysis with simple common knowledge, even then this 75-80 marks GS के हर पेपर में कहीं नहीं गया है. 100 भी ला सकते हो आप, थोड़ा प्रेजेंटेशन अच्छा कर दोगे. You see your handwriting, is it good? You ask these questions to yourself. You see your simple grammar, is it good? You write a sentence, is it grammatically correct? You write some answer on the paper, is it visible or legible? These things should be developed. These are never developed. So the thing is, you have to study things, whatever you study. Suppose you read a book of Rajiv Ayer, as I told you, and Bhavana Bhatt, she will be covering the analysis, how to prepare for prelims on our YouTube channel. That also you can see, MGIS. She has already done some analysis. She will be giving tips how to clear prelims on a regular basis. The sources, list of the books, list of the sources which you have to keep limited, keep on revising them, and whatever you may say, please understand that there are 6 to 8 traditional areas from where the questions come. There is history, there is polity, there is economy, there is geography, there is environment, there is science and tech. Basic things which you do, even if you leave current affairs, you will be able to clear the exam. Some of the current affairs question you will do. सारे sections का easy question तो सही करना ही है आपको. एंड इवन इफ यू सी द टॉपर्स, 100 क्वेश्चन आया ना, इसमें 40-45 से ज़्यादा क्लियर आंसर किसी को नहीं आते। 15-20 यू हैव टू डू एक्स्ट्रा। इसके लिए यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड द रीजनिंग एस्पेक्ट, हाउ टू एलिमिनेट द रॉन्ग आंसर। अब एलिमिनेशन टेक्निक इज नॉट वर्किंग, फॉर दैट द रीजनिंग टेक्निक इज वर्किंग। हाउ टू रीजन आउट, ये वाला सही होगा कि कौन सा सही होगा। अटेम्प्ट मोर क्वेश्चन, 80-85 अटेम्प्ट करने ही करने, हो गया। डोंट डोंट बी अंडर स्ट्रेस। उधर क्या होगा, अंडर स्ट्रेस यू विल डू ओवर एनालिसिस। प्रीलिम्स इज एन इजी एग्जामिनेशन। ये 50,000 का जो आपको डेटा मैं बोल रहा हूँ, दिस इज अ हायर अमाउंट। एक्चुअली इतने भी नहीं होंगे, 25,000 से ज़्यादा नहीं होंगे। ठीक ठाक ठीक ठाक लोग क्लियर कर लेते हैं प्रीलिम्स। यू विल सी प्रीलिम्स क्लियर होने के बाद में आप पूछोगे राजेंद्र नगर में, मुखर्जी नगर में, एनी नगर, you will see that only 50% of them are actually talented वाले लोग हैं। ये 6,000 5-6,000 लोग होंगे, बट ये जो 5-6,000 अगर कूड़ा कबाड़ा है। क्यों आया, क्योंकि जो सही टैलेंटेड लोग हैं वो स्ट्रेस में थे, मारे गए। 5 क्वेश्चन गलत, आउट ऑफ रेस। 10 क्वेश्चन गलत, आउट ऑफ रेस। और ये 5-10 क्वेश्चन स्ट्रेस की वजह से आ रहे हैं। यू आर सो फियरफुल, एज इफ यू आर शिवाजी महाराज। You yourself ask Shivaji Maharaj, your Maratha Samrajya is from Attock to Cuttack, Attock in your Afghanistan and Cuttack in Odisha. You have such a grand empire that you will lose. अरे अभी भी कुछ नहीं है, नहीं भी होगा तो कुछ नहीं रहेगा। What were you born with? Are you a billionaire? The answer is no. Are you having any empire? The answer is no. So what do you fear of losing? जिसकी वजह से इतने स्ट्रेस में आ गए हो। Because of that the performance is less. Nothing will happen, nothing changes. Things will go as they are. Don't be under so much of duress and stress. You have to prove yourself. ठीक है, प्रूव सभी को करना है अपने आप को, बट फॉर दैट neither should you study too much, too many books पढ़ लिया, अंडर फियर चल रहे हैं। Have belief in your preparation. That is very important. First and foremost the self belief. उसके बाद की बातें तो बाद में होंगी। First and foremost the self belief. हमारा जो प्रिपरेशन है that is perfect. कोई और बोल रहा मैंने ये भी पढ़ लिया, पढ़ ले तू, मेरे को कुछ नहीं करना। आई हैव माई लिस्ट ऑफ बुक सॉर्टेड आउट, कंप्लीट लिस्ट ऑफ बुक सॉर्टेड आउट। आई हैव स्टडीड इट 6 times 8 times। कॉन्फिडेंस, टू मच ऑफ कॉन्फिडेंस। आशना चौधरी 116 रैंक, कॉन्फिडेंस। कैसे, एक ही किताब को 10 बार, जाट अप्रोच, कंप्लीट जाट सी जाट, जाट अप्रोच पूरा पूरा पढ़ लेगा बार 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 बार। वाई डू यू वॉन्ट टू स्टडी 10 बुक्स? डू यू रियली थिंक यू आर आइंस्टाइन? You have to understand this examination is not for made for those people who are having very high IQ. ये एवरेज IQ का गेम है। यहाँ पे स्टडी आदमी ही जीतेगा। क्यों? बिकॉज एवरेज IQ वाला आदमी वो पूरे एक ऑर्गेनाइज तरीके से स्ट्रेटजी बना के धीरे 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 पढ़ता रहेगा विदाउट बॉदरिंग अबाउट द रिजल्ट एंड विल फोकस ऑन द वर्क। डिटैच्ड अटैचमेंट, डिस्पैशनेट पैशन। पैशन काम के लिए, रिजल्ट के लिए नहीं। दिन रात दिमाग में घूम रहा है, IAS मिलेगा, IPS मिलेगा, नहीं होगा क्या होगा, फियर में जी रहे। दिस ऑल हैज टू गो वंस यू स्टार्ट फोकसिंग ऑन द कर्मा। निष्काम कर्म, आपको निष्काम मतलब वो व्हाट रिजल्ट यू विल गेट, यू हैव टू गेट लेट गो ऑफ दैट। नो, यू शुडंट बी बॉदर्ड अबाउट रिजल्ट। पीपल आर सो बॉदर्ड। कॉपी नहीं मिला, कॉपी नहीं मिला, कॉपी में 5 टेस्ट लिख दिया, कोई इंप्रूवमेंट नहीं हो रहा। कॉपी लिख करके आप नंबर जान के क्या करोगे बताओ? एवरी टाइम यू वांट कॉपी 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 कॉपी। you have worked hard, you should get the copy, that's a reality of course, but you see, have you been getting the lessons? Try to be positive first and foremost. जो मिल रहा है बहुत सारे लोगों को ये भी नहीं मिलता है, ये भी क्या इतना तो बहुत बिल्कुल नहीं मिलता। There are people who have to toil so hard to get that one newspaper, but still they clear the exam. क्यों? क्रैक कर लिए कोड। जितना है अवेलेबल उसको जुडिशियसली, एफिशिएंटली एंड ऑनेस्टली, बीइंग इन पीस आप यूज करो, you will clear the exam. Be content with what you have. Okay, with this note I'll end this session. I've given you an idea how the essay will get developed, given you the content also. This was important today's session, that essay session, and you should always be upbeat, motivated. अभी बहुत टाइम है, नोटिफिकेशन आइडियल टाइम क्या होता है? आफ्टर द नोटिफिकेशन, आई थिंक February 2-3 ऐसे कुछ होगा नोटिफिकेशन डेट, आई डोंट रिमेम्बर। वो नोटिफिकेशन आने के बाद ना कई लोग तैयारी करते हैं, दे स्टार्ट प्रिपेयरिंग आफ्टर दिस, और आराम से कूलली दे वर्क ऑन क्लियरिंग द प्रीलिम्स। मेंस आएगा उस समय पे, ऐसे नहीं प्रीलिम्स देने के बाद बैठ जाएंगे, प्रीलिम्स देने के बाद में रिलैक्स रहेंगे, अपना जो काम कर रहे हैं वो करते रहेंगे, रिजल्ट देख लेंगे, हुआ ठीक है, नहीं हुआ कोई बात नहीं, अगले अटेम्प्ट की तैयारी। ऐसे भी लोग हैं, और ऐसे लोगों का हो ही जाता है। उसके बाद फिर अब मेंस आया, पहले से तैयारी कर रहे हैं, वो समझ गए क्या करना है, ऑप्शनल ऐसे एथिक्स को बढ़िया से कर लेंगे और चले जाएंगे रिलैक्स होकर के एग्जाम लिखेंगे। एक दिन का एग्जाम है नहीं, so many papers are there, they will remain relaxed in the during the duration of the examination, not bothered about ये क्वेश्चन गलत, वो क्वेश्चन इसका ये आंसर होगा, कुछ नहीं। आफ्टर राइटिंग द मेन एग्जामिनेशन they will come back, they will be focusing on their work, जो भी काम कर रहे हैं। सडनली रिजल्ट आएगा, इतना रैंक आ गया, ओके, this is how it works actually. So remain detached from the process as far as results are concerned, but yes, do your work passionately. Don't be bothered about the emotional aspects, ये हो जाएगा, लाल बत्ती मिलेगा, पीला बत्ती मिल जाएगा, ये हो जाएगा, वैसा कर देंगे, पावर मिल जाएगा, वो सब फालतू की बातें हैं। जस्ट फोकस ऑन योर वर्क, डोंट बॉदर अबाउट बिकमिंग व्हाट दिस। आजकल ये सोशल मीडिया और इतने सारे लोग भी आ गए, अफसर मैडम दिस दैट, IAS छोड़ के कोचिंग पढ़ाने लग गए, सब रबिश बातें। नोबडी लेफ्ट IAS, पीपल इन द लोअर सर्विसेज उधर छोड़ दिया, पैसा नहीं मिल रहा है, पावर नहीं है, अथॉरिटी नहीं है, छोड़ के इधर कोचिंग में आ गए, नॉनसेंस वो बात कर रहे हैं। तो यू हैव टू डू योर वर्क ऑनेस्टली, लीव द रेस्ट। Thank you very much. We'll meet again from tomorrow onwards, and we'll continue with our psychology classes also, because lots of backlog is there, but हम कवर कर लेंगे, डोंट वरी। जनवरी एंड में सारा खत्म हो जाएगा, उसके बाद में आप प्रीलिम्स की फुल फ्लेजेड तैयारी फोकस होकर करो। प्रीलिम्स के बाद में भी सेशन चलेगा हमारा, आ जाओ ऑफलाइन सेंटर पे, वहाँ पे भी होगा, ऑनलाइन सेंटर में भी रिले होगा, रिकॉर्डेड देखो, लाइव देखो, जैसे भी देखो, आपको पूरा मिल जाएगा मसाला। You need to practice, some tests will be there, not many tests but a few, and some answer writing strategy sessions, ये सब भी कंडक्ट होगा, तो आपके मार्क्स आ जाएंगे। डोंट नीड टू वरी अबाउट मेंस एस्पेक्ट, प्रीलिम्स आप क्लियर करो लेकिन। थैंक यू वेरी मच।